There is a magical operation of maximum importance. The initiation of a new aeon. When it becomes necessary to utter a word, the whole planet must be bathed in blood.
Excellent. Test out the new abilities.
This elemental Reaver I discovered had the power to obliterate barriers that were cracked or compromised. At last, I had the means to open that ruined time-streaming chamber I discovered so long ago in the swamp. Now, perhaps, I could leave this wasteland and return to an era when Janos Ordrin still lived.
Alright, yippee skippy. We are done in this place, let us go. Alright, huh? Yeah, just a regular Reaver dork. Doesn't matter which one as long as it's a Reaver. Arms. How about 2 legs too? I need both. You're gonna be at least a decent sizable human. I mean, good day. I said good day. That's the one thing about the Legacy of Kain games, at least until Blood Omen, is that Blood Omen 2 rather, is that fighting is not always your best option. Especially if you're trying to get somewhere fast and get work done. More often than not, you're going to actually want to avoid combat, at least in Soul Reaver 1 and 2. Kind of make combat, even avoiding it, a more strategic thing. But then Blood Omen 2 introduced a level up system, so you want to fight just about everyone you can get your hands on, and let's see here. Okay, yeah, we're up here. So I need to go, actually the shortcut will be that way. They had more or less a level up system in Blood Omen 2, and in Defiance it's pretty much a combat centric game with far less puzzles. Usually the puzzles are more or less figuring out how to get through the maze, and that's about it. But that also kind of makes Defiance the more interesting game, because it kind of took it wanted to do its own thing, but also still took a few really good ideas from things like God of War. I don't wanna. I can feel I have to. I want to get this done. Yep. Kaboom. Okay, I need to sit in it a bit longer. There we go. I think it's a horse apiece by the look of it. Hello, hello.
I had no choice but to act purely on blind faith. There was no way to tell what error this device was tuned to, and I had neither the knowledge nor the means to set the machine myself. I hesitated only briefly. Then, throwing the switch, I hurled myself into oblivion and relinquished my will to the hand of fate.
So then the good question is, when are we now? Looks like the front door still works.
Beyond all hope and against all probability, it seemed that the device had unerringly delivered me to the era I sought. For these were Sarafan banners, and these vampires apparently the victims of their crusade. The coincidence seemed too convenient to naively ascribe to fate. But whether my opportune arrival had been orchestrated by Mobius or some other influence, I didn't know. If Janos Ordrin still lived, I would find him. But I was wary of further deception and resolved to tread carefully.
noticed the water. I moved a bit faster than the water this time. Oh yeah. Water's far cleaner. Seems to be no enemies about at the moment at least. And we got ourselves another save point. We have successfully gone back to the past where we need to be.
For all the butchery of Mobius's crusade, this massacre was somehow more chilling. The killing fields of the Sarafan betrayed a kind of orderly ruthlessness, the cold-blooded righteousness of the true believer.
By all that is holy!
Here at last, in the flesh, I beheld my former brothers in arms, the warrior priests of the Sarafan Order, their lives devoted solely to the annihilation of the vampire plague. And while I confess, I felt a twinge of longing, a pang of grief for what I had believed was my lost virtue, I regarded them now with none of the reverence I formerly felt. For I had seen the human face of the vampires, and now I beheld the monstrousness of these men.
All right. Let's head over that way.
Come here, you devil!
You can avoid most of
Free
them.
your soul, demon!
I'm a demon. You lot don't even know what a demon is. almost there. Let's take a save. Alright. Almost to Janos, and we're almost to the last dungeon. Actually, yeah, this is like the last quarter or so of the game. You're just being annoying, so good day to you. Oh, hi. Oh, that's bullshit. I was dodging. It really does irk me how clumsy dodging is, and yet it's the only way you can actually fight these guys, because the only other thing is blocking, and the blocking does nothing in this. Oh my god, game. Dodge. How many times do I have to hit the dodge button before you dodge? Oh my fucking god. Almost bear walking in a circle.
Free your soul.
Almost. Got too far away now. I don't know where it went. Not gonna go running after it either, because it's only gonna cause more trouble. Are you kidding me? Whatever, dude. Yeah, to be honest, it's pointless. It's faster just to walk around these guys. They're so bloody annoying and so numerous.
After my long journey, I finally stood on the threshold of enlightenment. For here was Janos Ordring's mountain retreat, intact and unblemished. The upheaval that would one day topple this ancient edifice had not yet occurred. And while I had no certainty that Janos still lived, this scene boded well, for I presumed that the collapse of the retreat must have followed the ancient vampire's demise. There was only one obstacle: how to reach the balcony suspended at that maddening height, so far beyond my reach. For this was the architecture of winged creatures. The tattered ruins of my wings were of no use. I would need to devise some other means into that mountain.
So, as we shall, let's have a look around. There's a lot more reachable things than what we were capable of getting to earlier. See what we can